Hello, and welcome to Prentice's Echoes. We often try to break bad habits with pure willpower. We say, I'm just going to stop scrolling, or I'm never going to stress eat again. But willpower is a finite resource, and it always fails. Habits are not failures of morality, they are systems your brain built to solve a problem, often, the problem of coping with stress, boredom, or exhaustion. The truth is, you don't quit a bad habit, you replace it. You must hack the psychological system, the habit loop that is wired into your brain. Today, I'm giving you the 4-step habit loop hack, a proven protocol to identify the architecture of your bad habits and replace the toxic routine with a healthier, equally satisfying alternative. Step 1. Deconstruct the trigger focus, making the bad habit invisible. The problem, every habit is launched by a cue, or a trigger. We try to resist the habit, but we never remove the trigger, making resistance inevitable and exhausting. The action, the if-then isolation. Identify the trigger. For your worst habit, for example, checking social media, late-night snacking, identify the exact event that happens just before the habit. This is your trigger, for example, I sit down on the couch after dinner, or my phone lights up with a new email. The isolation, name the physical location, time, or emotional state of the trigger. Make it invisible. Now, create friction to make the trigger less obvious or the habit nearly impossible. If the trigger is the couch, place a book or a pair of running shoes on the couch to interrupt the routine. If the trigger is the phone, delete the social media app from your home screen or put the phone in a drawer in another room for a set time. The rule, it is easier to avoid temptation than it is to resist it. Remove the cue, and the habit often disappears. 2. Step 2. The substitute and satisfy rule focus, replacing the routine with a better alternative. The problem, the bad habit is solving an underlying need, for example, scrolling relieves boredom, eating relieves stress. If you remove the routine but don't replace the solution, you create a vacuum, and the bad habit rushes back in. The action, the 5-minute substitution. Identify the need, ask yourself, what is the bad habit really giving me? For example, distraction, comfort, release from tension. The substitution, develop a 5-minute, high-value routine that satisfies the same underlying need. If the need is distraction/release, instead of scrolling, take 5 minutes to listen to one favorite song with headphones and no other stimulus. If the need is comfort/stress, instead of eating, do 5 minutes of stretching or breathing exercises. The exchange, when the trigger hits, immediately execute the 5-minute substitution. The insight, the new habit doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be better and accessible. Focus on the tiny win of the substitution. 3. Step 3, the identity shift focus, changing your self-perception to align with the new habit. The problem, we often say, I want to get fit. This focus is on the outcome. Sustainable change comes from saying, I am a fit person. The action, the 2-sentence declaration. Prove it. Every time you execute your new, good habit, the 5-minute substitution, no matter how small, tell yourself, that's a win. I am the kind of person who, new positive action. For example, I am the kind of person who prioritizes their peace over social media. The voting, each successful execution is a vote for your new identity. You are collecting evidence that your new self is real. The celebration, don't just celebrate the big wins. Celebrate the fact that you showed up, for example, I ran for 5 minutes, and that proves I am an athlete. The rule, your habits are how you prove your identity to yourself. You must become the person who doesn't do the bad habit. 4. Step 4, the relapse protocol, 1400 hours to 1630. Focus, preventing one slip-up from becoming a full-blown failure. The problem, everyone slips up. The difference between success and failure is how you handle the slip. Failure is not the slip, failure is the second slip that follows immediately after. The action, the never miss twice rule. Forgiveness. When you slip, for example, spent an hour scrolling, acknowledge it without self-judgment. Say, that was a failed routine, not a failed person. The bounce back, commit to the never miss twice rule. If you miss your substitution on Monday, you absolutely must execute it on Tuesday. The audit, quickly review the circumstances of the slip. Was the trigger too strong? Did you forget your reward? Adjust your system, not your self-worth. The rule, a single mistake is an event. 2 mistakes start a new pattern. Your speed of return defines your resilience. Conclusion, 1630 to 1800 hours, the echo of change. Stop fighting your bad habits. Start replacing them. Deconstruct, make the bad habit invisible by removing its trigger. Substitute, replace the toxic routine with a 5-minute, high-value substitution. Identity, collect votes for your new self through the 2-sentence declaration. Resilience, practice the never miss twice rule to prevent a slip from becoming a spiral. The truth, your trajectory is defined not by your goals, but by the smallest systems you run every single day. Motivational phrase, if you're ready to stop fighting against yourself and start building the life you truly desire, subscribe to Prentice's Echoes now, and master the science of lasting positive change.